Goodbye. Bum, 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 bum. Sky. Goodbye. 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 Bum, 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 bum. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a tolerable Monday. Probably not, the best because it's still a Monday. And Monday sucks. No one, no one's like, favorite day of the week, Monday. Thank you. We're back with Wukong. Oh, rat sage. Puff. 5 begin. Supporter monk. Strength unused with no place due. Lifting stones, a task askew. Eyes so bright yet lost in haze, an empty gaze lost in self's maze. In the past, craftsmen building the Grand Hall in the New West frequently encountered strange occurrences, leading many to quit. Curious, several craftsmen sought out the abbot, reputed to be a high monk, for answers. The abbot, without hesitation, led them to the great Pagoda, where he revealed the Lantern Warden. The craftsmen were terrified, having heard tales of Yao Guai in their youth, but never having seen one. At that moment, the wondrous sound echoed through the great Pagoda, and the Lantern Warden emitted a blinding light, causing the craftsmen to lose their sight. They cried out in despair. The abbot smiled and said, "To see the truth, must be willing to sacrifice even sight. You might as well stay here in this temple and practice the path to ultimate bliss with me. Perhaps you will have the chance to transcend and reach Buddha's realm." Realizing they were now blind and unable to find work, the craftsmen had decided to abandon the secular life and join the temple. They asked the abbot how they should practice, and he replied, "Whatever you are skilled at, practice that." The craftsmen, known for their great strength, decided to pursue enlightenment through martial arts. Despite their blindness, they trained under the temple's overseeing monks. They tied large stones with iron chains and attached them to the wrists and lifted them daily. They also conveniently prepared the stones needed for the temple's construction. The abbot was pleased and appointed them as supporter monks, saving a considerable amount of labor costs. Weird. Cyan Bat. Iron fork, spear in hand, clothed in simple guard, humble did he stand. Deep woods, a world of light, a perfect hunting land in sight. In the past, there was a butcher named Wang in Chuyong village. Orphaned at a young age, his mother couldn't support him, so she sent him to apprentice with a butcher at the foot of the mountain where he honed his skills. One day, a wealthy family town was celebrating a birthday and invited Wong to slaughter pigs and sheep. Pleased with his work, the host rewarded him with a leg of pork. Wong decided to bring the pork leg back to his mother and set off for the village that night. Halfway there, he saw a man by the roadside holding a hunting spear and wearing an old cloth shirt. The man called out, "Brother, I'm a hunter from the village, trapping rabbits down the slope. I'm afraid of ghosts at night. May I walk with you?" Wang nodded in agreement, and they continued on their way. After a while, the hunter started a conversation. "Brother, have you heard? There have been reports of Yao Guai on this mountain path recently." Wang laughed. "What's there to fear about Yao Guais? I have a butcher's knife on my waist and a pork leg on my shoulder. If I encounter a Yao Guai, I'll swing the pork leg at them and chop at it with my knife." The hunter forced a smile. After walking a bit further, the hunter said, "Brother, you must be very skilled if you're not afraid of Yao Guais." Wang laughed again. "I've been slaughtering animals since I was a child. One strike can hit the vital spot, and one chop can break bones and tendons." The hunter, annoyed, said, "How can you compare Yao Guais to animals?" Wang replied seriously, "There are no Yao Guais in this world. Those who uphold justice are heroes. Those who bully the innocent are simply foul beasts." The hunter, unsure how to respond, walked on in silence. As the village came into view, the hunter hesitated and said, "Since you're not afraid, why not turn around and look at me?" Wang had already suspected the hunter was a Yao Guai. He swung the pork leg, knocking the hunter to the ground, and raised his knife to strike. The Yao Guai, losing its composure, quickly spread its wings and flew into the air, spitting. "Today I'd met a tough one. Bad luck. Bad luck." With that, it fled immediately. They say the soft permissions are easier to squeeze, hence it's better to be strong. Stand firm, and even Yao Guai will fear you a bit. Invisible walls strike again. Snow Hill Path. The ice level. I think I prefer desert over ice myself. Oh! Oh, that was weird. Why'd you do that? Frozen corpse. Wisdom, lamplight, seasons span. Time flows like water through our hands. Snow and wind obscure the way. Achievements drift like bubbles grand. The temple rules state. New monks entering the temple may receive a new kasaya. One day, Master Non-Void joyfully welcomed a new disciple and personally led him to the storeroom to fetch a kasaya. The young disciple found that the kasaya was made from a single layer of cloth, hardly adequate for the snowy mountains. He asked, Master, this thin kasaya seems suitable for summer. Could I exchange one made for a woolen one? Non-Void shook his own kasaya and said, The one I wear is the same as the one in your hands, only more ornate. With the Buddha's wisdom in your heart, you shall fear the cold no more. The young disciple, still doubtful, asked, Master, I saw many seniors frozen to death by the roadside. Non-Void kindly replied, Their understanding was shallow and minds unsteady, yet you are different. I can see that you have the potential to comprehend the Buddha's wisdom. The young disciple, feeling proud, happily followed his master back with the kasaya. Not long after, another frozen corpse appeared outside the temple gate. As Non-Void let his new disciple pass it, the young disciple asked, Master, did these seniors all freeze to death? Non-Void continued walking slowly and said, Fear not, my disciple. They lacked piety and wisdom, but you are different. gather the thing that was down here? Guess I did. I'm sorry, lads, but you give will upon being shattered. The macaque chief. Get you later, Maga. Maga! Refined sand. was going to be an issue. I knew it. Net zero on resources, since, well, I guess slightly less resources than that. I used the good old forehead trick. Never underestimate the old forehead. Headbutts hurt, if you use them correctly. Alright. Yaksha Patroller. In the mountains high above, a fiend blocks the way, with a hideous visage, a crooked blade in sway. As the wind howls wildly, souls seem to fade. For life's last salvation, be swift and do evade. The Yakshas who migrated from the west had a great fondness for meat. Fortunately, New Thunderclap Temple did not uphold a strict rule against eating meat, and which delighted the Yakshas who sought refuge there. All the Yakshas in the mountains aspired to be patrollers, not only because of the uniquely designed large sword that looked particularly imposing and could fly back to its owner with great precision, but also because patrollers guarded the outer mountains and always had access to fresh meat. One day the Yakshas gathered together, drinking blood, eating meat, and reveling in their merriment. Their raucous behavior soon became known through the temple. The overseeing monks, who adhered to aesthetic practices and only ate food not of flesh, were displeased. They carried a large pot to the Yakshas. When the Yakshas peered into the pot, they saw only radishes and greens, and their appetite waned. One Yaksha derided them. Do you think eating this will help you gain a deeper understanding of Dharma? How shallow. Another added, our master said to achieve ultimate bliss, one should not restrain one's desires. Hearing this, the supervising monk replied, my desire is to promote virtue. If I cannot persuade you, I too shall be unable to achieve ultimate bliss. Thus both sides argued heatedly without reaching a conclusion. Alas, eating what one likes and saying what one wants are not inherently wrong. However, one's happiness should not disturb others, and one should never derive pleasure from judging those perceived to have transgressed. In this case, both sides were at fault. Jesus.
Thus spoke our Buddha. Kill them again!
A wee little shrine. still alive? You wretches. He shouldn't have lived. I killed him. Come on, game. I killed that bastard. He had no health left. He had no health left. He had no health. He had no health. No health. No health. I killed him. I killed him. I killed him. I killed him. It's not that big of a deal, actually. The only reason it seemed like that is because of the chief. And of course reading the entries and whatnot. Poise on these lads. Hi, cheater, I'm back. That's probably the most unfair encounter so far. Why are there so many of you plant bastards in this mountain? I knew there was going to be treasure. Gold. Well, the middle is certainly suspicious, so I will go around it. Some gold. No!
Faith and devotion, quite the notion. Yet how many can claim a mind so pure, still, and sure? Look at you. Through the heavy snow you roam. Desiring that thing, no doubt. I read your fortune before you came. Care to hear? Act not and be still, thy gifts art thy ill. If you seek your own end, I shall not stop you. I, the Keeper of the New West, welcome the Destined One. Now fly!
But, oh.
temple on the lake? Therein lies the thing you seek. The lord of this land is away. Seize it now and leave.
You truly are a wretch, you chicken bastard. Still not enough. Hello, sailor. How are you? This fine Monday. Yeah, swing your club, sore loser. Wretched rat! Just pairs. I thought I was getting the vine upgrade for my gourd. You no gourd me. It's that time of day where I go walking the dog, so I'll be going in to do that. What are you doing? Oh, right. Bear. Emergency. You want it? Yes. Mountain patroller. With your Klingon ass, goddamn wrist arm blade. So, I'll be back in a bit. Hello, I have returned from walking the dog. When we were done, we were like we were wild. That is life. Don't know what the fuck I was doing there. Getting be so honest, I thought the guy was part of the tree. Why are all the plant monsters in the goddamn snow zone? Like if it was in the forest zone, then you know, fine, sure, I understand. Desert zone, sure, give me like a little cactus freak. But snow zone? In chilled state, moderately increases critical hit chance. Buddha's bead eludes the common hand. With shallow root, no lotus stand. Alright, what were you all praying to? Well, refined iron sand and... Every little bit helps. All these are twofers? Man. Do I have enough for the weapon upgrade? Okay, then. Surely there'll be nothing between me and that little temple. Got a little koi fish.
How delightful. It still recalls your scent. When that monkey was alive, he was all about weeping and begging for help. Now, even in death, he led all you younglings right to me. This sack of mine can barely fit you all. Kang Jinglong, now that you are ready, go and weigh up this one for your master. See if this monkey merits a place amongst my disciples.
I dodged that, come on. Well then. I dodged that! What the hell? How does that mean? I'm so getting frustrated. I'm pressing the dodge button! Why the fuck do you not dodge when I press the dodge button? Like there. How does that... How are you hitting me when I'm pressing the dodge button? Make it make sense! Make it make sense! I beg of you! I beg of you! Why don't you dodge when I tell you to dodge in the fucking fight? Wukong! I used the spell! You wretched dragon! Why don't you obey the rules of the fucking game? When I use the immobility spell, you know what that's supposed to. What do you know what you're supposed to do, fucking dragon? You're supposed to get immobile. You're not supposed to keep moving. Like hello, 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 hello. Did you forget that's a very simple thing of the thing you're supposed to know? I'm pressing the dodge button! Like, what else am I supposed to do? Now you were. That didn't hit me. Get up, Wukong! Fuck you, Kang Jinlong!
You have chosen your way. This time, there will be no easy way out. Deity or a Yogwai.
Kang Jinlong. Halfway to the west, the journey long, returning to the homeland where dreams belong. Strengthened and weakened by the mighty sack, principles falter on a misguided track. Kang Jinlong, one of the 28 constellations, is the second constellation of the Azure Long of the East. With a sharp horn on her forehead, she once drilled through the golden symbols to rescue the great sage. Since then, the constellation officers had upheld the principle of staying sharp, leading many immortals to believe that some strange influence had invaded their consciousness. One day, during the roll call in the Dome of Stars, the Dawn Star was missing. Despite thorough inquiries, no one knew of his whereabouts. Coincidentally, Yellowbrow returned to the New West to host a grand ceremony, inviting various Yaoguais, gods, immortals, and Buddhas to attend. Hearing the news, Kang Jinlong sought permission from the Celestial Court and attended the ceremony, intending to secretly investigate the Dawn Star's disappearance. However, like the Dawn Star, King Jinlong also vanished without a trace. The constellation officer speculated and compared notes, realizing that both the Dawn Star and Kang Jinlong had once done the great sage big favors. They suspected a connection with the great sage. Reflecting on their past interactions with the great sage, they grew fearful. Kimu Wolf scoffed. Though that monkey ruined my plans, I still respect him. But you all, who always boast about your friendship with that monkey, why are you silent now? I'm gonna grab my drink.
where you are, newcomer. Wanderers in this place meet their demise. Be warned. One, and for those who try, some went mad, and the rest dead. Welcome to the Buddha's realm. Here is where one's mind ebbs away with the tides of chance. That includes yours too. Why bother fighting it? Just abandon your senses and wait for your end. Like me. Go back now. Don't close your ears to my words. Can't be advised. You are just like him. Here is where one's mind, that includes
Lantern Warden. Ancient temple trees reach high. In dungeon shadows life's thread lie. In darkness light appears, most vivid at the abyss near. The ancient temple on the mountain peak, weathered by the passage of time, had gradually fallen into disrepair. When the abbot returned after many years and saw the temple in such a state of ruin, he was filled with sorrow. Determined to restore the temple to its former glory, he spent a large amount of gold and silver to fund its reconstruction, hoping to showcase his path to the ultimate bliss. The abbot selected a towering forest in the mountains, intending to use the ancient trees as the beams of the new temple. The craftsmen responsible for the timber set up their shelters at the edge of the forest and began felling trees according to the abbot's instructions. Everything proceeds smoothly, and within half a year all the necessary timber was prepared. The craftsmen received their wages and packed up, ready to descend the mountain the next day. That night, a craftsman on night watch was patrolling the area carrying a lantern. Suddenly, rustling sounds from the forest hit his nerves on edge. Terrified, he woke everyone up. With the lanterns lit and axes in hand, all the craftsmen treaded into the forest to locate the source of the sound. As they ventured deeper into the forest, someone that was screaming was abruptly dragged into the darkness along with his lantern by an unknown force. Then, one by one, despite their attempts to hide and flee, all craftsmen were all dragged away. Only one clever craftsman quickly extinguished his lantern. Trembling with fear, he groped his way through the forest. Fortunately, a faint light had appeared in the distance. The sun was about to rise. With this faint light, he found his way back and hurried toward the shelters. As he reached the edge of the forest, the sunlight suddenly became a blindingly bright, filling his eyes with a white glare. Enduring the pain, he looked closer and realized the light was not from the rising sun, but from his companions' lanterns. These lanterns were held up by the vines that replaced his companions' heads, propping up their corpses. A chubby boy with a pale face dressed in a yellow robe rode a tall four-legged beast whose head emitted strange sounds. Just as the craftsman was about to plead for mercy, he felt a chill on his back. Then he felt himself lifted higher and higher until he was level with the lanterns. The chubby child patted the beast's head. The sounds ceased and the lanterns went out. The night returned to its eerie stillness. The chubby boy laughed and said, "Good materials should be used to their fullest." Oh. Ow. What? Yaksha, Archer. The bow stark snap doth kindle fright, the arrow's tip doth chaos incite. Blind eyes traded for an enlightened heart. Fate's ear deaf to beneficent art start. In the past, the Yaksha king was betrayed by the celestial beings, leading to the massacre of the royal family and the downfall of the Yaksha kingdom. After the kingdom's collapse, the Yakshas were forced into exile. The ceremonial archers, who once guarded the royal entourage, clung to their former glory and refused to shed their ornate armor. Despite their exceptional archery skills, their slow shooting speed and lack of close combat prowess made their exile particularly harsh. Due to their inadequate strength, they resort to ambushes from the shadows. The abbot assigned them to the Pagona realm for rigorous training. They endured daily torment there, especially when the Mani Wheel played its beguiling chants, driving everyone mad. During these times, the blade monks would seize the opportunity to behead the archers with their large blades, leaving the Yaksha archers desperate for a way to fight back. They sought guidance from various sources and frequently challenged the blade monks, only to be defeated repeatedly. One day, some blind monks came to oversee the Pagona realm. They had blinded themselves to pursue the path of ultimate bliss, yet their martial arts were incredibly refined. The Yaksha archers asked for their advice, and the monks replied, "Aim too carefully and you will lose the initiative. Learn from me. Gouge out your eyes and you will shoot from the heart, never missing your mark." With the only other option available to them being annihilation, the archers adopted this drastic measure, gouging out their eyes. With this, the blade monks would rarely target them. After this, the blade monks were. When asked why, the blade monk replied, "Who would want to go up against a madman? It's safer just to find another opponent." I mean, true. Blade monk. A foolish monk hears a wise voice divine, beheading seen as a practice and evil so refined. Crooked paths lead to ever twisted ways, the wicked blade awakens, yet the mind still strays. The Yakshas who sought refuge in the New West were mostly unwilling to sever their old grudges and thus served as lay disciples in the temple. Some Yakshas, however, aspired to attain enlightenment and shaved their head to become inner disciples. They had promised their master to sever a thousand heads to prove their resolve. The yellow brow was pleased and bestowed upon them special blades, calling them blade monks, and allowed them to practice in the Pagona realm. If they truly managed to behead 1,000 foes, they could become arhats in the main hall. Initially, the blade monks thought this task would be easy, as the Pagona realm was full of newcomers on the path of enlightenment. However, the path grew more challenging as they found the remaining inhabitants of the Pagona realm to be formidable adversaries, the agile and elusive starved abominations, whom they couldn't catch, the long-limbed lantern wardens, whom they dare not provoke, the temperamental enslaved yakshas, whose cruel vengeance they feared. Even the weakest yaksha archers had become mad and terrifying after practicing the closed-eye meditation technique. Seeing that the red-haired yakshas often sat quietly alone, appearing very docile, they decided to target them. Although the red-haired yakshas believed all beings deserved to live, they harbored deep hatred for those who behead others due to the war that destroyed their nation and their own fate. Thus, they showed no mercy and promptly beheaded the blade monks who attempted to do so. After this lesson, the blade monks became subdued but remained resentful. They often hid in corners, ambushing passers-by to add to their count of beheading through their treacherous means. Starved abomination. Abominations do roam the frosty, chilling path, with swollen, rumbling bellies and necks adorned in wrath. They spread their malice freely, cunning and so sly, a fearsome presence to behold, loathsome to the eye. In the past, at the foot of the New West, there was a village called Changyon. In this village lived a young man who pledged his life to a childhood sweetheart, giving her a white jade pendant as a token of their love and vowing to propose once he becomes successful. The young man was a peddler, making a living by trading grain in the surrounding areas. One day, a luxurious ferry sailed down the river near the village, more splendid than anything the villagers had ever seen. At the bow stood a plump monk in a yellow robe radiating golden light. The villagers believed he must have been enlightened. After the arrival of the ferry, the temple in the mountains grew larger and larger, and the young man's grain trade flourished. One day, the young man went to trade grain and did not return for over a month. The girl, worried, inquired about the temple's location and went there to find him. When the young man finally returned to the village, they missed each other and the girl disappeared. The young man gathered some brave villagers to search for her in the mountains. They found no trace of her but came across a towering pagoda by the riverbank. The young man led them there to rest. As they approached the pagoda, the door suddenly opened. Curious, someone peeked inside and screamed. Behind the door was a dungeon extending deep underground, seemingly holding many people. The villagers, full of righteous anger, stormed into the pagoda. After a few steps, they heard a loud bang, and the door vanished. Strange-looking Yaoguais with scythes and huge billies emerged from the prison, laughing wickedly. One of them threw a bag of silver to the young man and then eagerly leapt forward, swinging his scythe and cutting the nearest villagers into pieces. Realizing they'd been deceived by the young man, the villagers fled deeper into the prison. The young man watched them and murmured, "Having lost my love, I cannot afford to lose my wealth." If I recall, I remember hearing something about how there's a special item you get if you kill all these lantern guys. They also seem to have a large bounty on their heads. And by bounty, I mean... will be able to rank that. Alright. Now I ain't going nowhere, Mr. Lantern Warden, till I get my due. Oh, you little bitch. Get up! I'll increase the stamina recovery rate. Walnut, ginkgos, tea for friends, just to savor. Grapes, coconuts, wine for joyful flavor. Okay, that should be the lower floor cleared. Not gonna lie, I totally thought I was gonna die doing that drop. Oh, there he is.
His Grace speaks day and night of some monkey. That must be you.
I misjudged your distance. that. Oh, this is gonna be not great. I appreciate you not doing that while I was on the bridge. Enslave Yaksha. Oh, true kindness, how pure and bright, yet karma binds in depths of blight. With halberd in hand, I fear their gaze. From humble roots, my sorrow stays. In the northwest borderlands of the kingdom of Yuto, there was a small village where an elderly couple had been childless for many years. One day, an old man went to the mountains to chop wood and discovered a young child under an ancient tree. The child's skin was dark and his appearance frightening, quite different from the village children. Seeing his frail limbs and body covered in scars, the old man assumed he was a refugee and brought him home. The old woman also found the child unusual and initially wanted to send him away. However, after washing, dressing, and feeding him, she couldn't help but feel some affection for him. After some discussion, the couple decided to keep him. At first, the couple treated the child very well, though within half a year due to his strange appearance, the villagers began to gossip and call him ugly slave. The old couple, feeling ashamed, started to treat him less kindly and even called him the same way the villagers did. Within 2 years, his skin turned a dark green and the couple made him wear thick clothes to cover his entire body, forbidding him to take them off even in scorching heat. 3 years later, the ugly slave grew more robust, and horns began to sprout from his head. The old man, increasingly fearful, confined him in the woodshed. Whenever he was angry, he would enter and whip the child, sometimes even using a hatchet to cut off his horns, leaving him covered in blood. The old woman, disgusted by the sight, blamed everything on the child. She would beat him when upset and even burn him with fire when she felt ashamed. The ugly slave endured his torment in the woodshed for another 5 years. One day, a group of wandering yakshas passed by and heard curses in the yaksha tongue coming from the woodshed. They broke in and found their tormented kin. They gave the ugly slave a long halberd, and in his fury he stormed into the house and repaid the old couple for all they had done to him. Years later, the ugly slave's resentment still simmers. Only by tormenting his prey can he find any semblance of joy. Just gonna check the top of this here ramp, because I thought I saw another shrine up high. But I don't know if it's like right at the top of this thing, or would it be like out on the... Oh. I'm getting bitten by the floating glowies.
Do not face denial.
Red hair Yaksha. With sword in hand and foe's chest pierced, blood-soaked hair in battle fierced, endless sorrow for a fallen land, east wind sighs as west winds stand. In the kingdom of Yaksha, there were 8 great generals, one of whom was named Miyan. He had once practiced under the Golden Summit Immortal at the Yuzen Temple, located at the foot of Mount Lingshan. Having fought countless battles, he possessed the valor of a warrior who could face 10,000 enemies. When a formidable enemy attacked, the Yaksha king appointed Mi Yan as the vanguard general. Mi Yan set up a large camp at the border and addressed his soldiers. If any of you fear battle, walk away now, and I won't hold it against you. But know that if we lose this foothold, the kingdom will fall. Our elders, children, and all of our wealth will become the property of our enemies. With these words, he and the entire army swore a blood oath to advance and never retreat. The Yaksha army, isolated and outnumbered, faced an enemy surrounding them on all sides, their banners blotting out the sky. Wave after wave of enemy forces attacked relentlessly. Mi Yan and his troops fought fiercely, suffering heavy casualties. Ultimately, Yi Yan was surrounded by numerous Arhats and was beheaded. The soldiers, countless among them having sacrificed their lives, retrieved their general's head. Placing Mi Yan's head in his coffin, they witnessed his body slowly sit up and lament. If we lose our homeland, what difference does it make of whether I have a head or not? With these words, he closed his eyes and fell back down, finally passing away as blood gushed from his neck, staining his hair red. Later, his opponents, in a display of loyalty and bravery, poured the blood of their enemies over their heads, emulating Mi Yan. Despite their valor, the kingdom of Yaksha was ultimately destroyed, and not a single soldier from Mi Yan's army deserted. I'll deal with you later. So I'm going to rest and we'll call it here for the day. I know it's way earlier than usual, but I have D&D at the normal stop time and some things to do before that. So I'll see you all tomorrow as we delve deeper into the Bogona realm. Good day and goodbye.